Hi you two, how are you doing at home? Hope everyone's alright. Big hello to Turtles. So today I'm reading a new book to you, and this is actually a new book to me as well, and it's called Little Fred Riding Hood. I'm going to read this to you in two parts, so part today and then I'll give you an activity to do, and then another part tomorrow, and then there's some longer activities to do with the next bit. Okay, so Little Fred Riding Hood. That's funny. That reminds me of another story. A trip to Wolfworth's. Wolf put down his copy of Little Red Riding Hood and sighed a big sigh. He gazed at the picture of the big bad wolf on the front cover and said, "Oh, I do wish I could be just like you, Big Bad." Big Bad was Wolf's hero, and Little Red Riding Hood was his favourite story. He'd just finished reading it for the 23rd time, and he'd enjoyed it more than ever, even though the last 2 pages were missing. Whenever he asked his mum where those 2 pages were, she always said mysteriously, "There are certain things it's best for a young wolf not to know about, my boy." Wolf often used to wonder what happened after the bit where Big Bad is in the Gran's clothes waiting for Little Red to arrive. What he did know, though, was that he'd love to have an adventure like the one in his favourite book. If only he could bump into a Little Red Riding Hood who just happened to be on her way to her sweet old granny's with a basket full of scrumptious goodies. But he'd never even seen a Red Riding Hood, never mind tasted one. As Wolf sat daydreaming about riding hoods, his mum came into his room. "Wolf, just pop down to Wolfworth's for me and get a dozen tins of Happy Wolf," she said. "It's a full moon party tonight, and I'm inviting the pack round for a wine and howl party." "All right, Mum," said Wolf. "I'll get some cupcakes as well." On the way back from the shops, Wolf went a new way home. As he turned the corner into a strange street, he saw something that made his paws twitch with excitement. In the front garden of a house, a small boy thing was waving to a sweet old granny thing, and the small boy thing was wearing a red hood. Wolf wanted to howl with joy, but he didn't. He clapped a paw over his snout and quickly hid behind a bush to watch the scene. "Bye-bye, Granny," said the boy thing. "Bye-bye, little Fred," said the granny thing. Wolf could hardly believe his eyes and ears. "If I'm not dreaming, this really is my lucky day," Wolf said to himself as he watched the granny thing totter off down the road. She was exactly like the granny in the pictures in his book. She had wispy white hair, little round glasses, a walking stick, a bonnet and a shawl. She was perfect. As soon as she was out of sight, Wolf nipped out from behind the bush and strolled over to the little boy who was pedalling his bicycle round and round. In his friendliest voice he said, "Hello, small boy thing." "Hello, fungus face," said the boy. What a rude child, thought Wolf, feeling a terrible urge to eat the boy on the spot. But that wasn't in the story, so he didn't. Instead, he gave him a sickly smile and said, "What's your name, little chap?" "My name's Fred Hood," said the boy. "Caw, you aren't half hairy. Haven't you heard of shaving? Hey, furry features, watch me ride my bike. I'm riding good, aren't I? I'm little Fred riding good, I am." Wolf couldn't believe his luck. The boy had said it himself. He was little Fred Riding Hood. Who was that little old lady you were talking to, little Fred?" asked Wolf, trying to control his excitement. "Oh, was my dear old granny, whose cottage I often visit, carrying a basket full of scrumptious goodies, said the little boy. My old granny is ever so sweet. I bet she is, said Wilf, drooling and licking his lips hungrily. By now he was quivering all over with excitement. Anyway, what's it got to do with you, old slobber chops? Said little Fred. And why are you shaking? Are you cold? Yes, that's it, said Wilf. I'm cold. I've got to go now. Bye-bye, little Fred Riding Hood. Oh, goodness gracious me, Wilf thought, as he rushed home to make his plans. I'm finally going to gobble up a granny. I'm so excited I can hardly wait. See you then, fungus face. Okay, right, we're going to stop there. Now, the activity that I want you guys to do, now this is online or it's printed out in your packs if you've gone to pick up a pack from school. And this activity is all about making links between this book, so the one that I've been reading to you, and other stories that you might know or that you've read before. Now, there's a really obvious one, isn't there? Because it's similar to Little Red Riding Hood. It's got similar characters. It's even referenced to it in it. It talks about Little Red Riding Hood in it. They've got similar names. Okay? Now, on the sheet I've given you an example, and I want you to write as many sentences as you can using because. So you need to tell me, why is this story similar to other stories and books that you know? So for example, you could write, Little Fred Riding Hood is similar to Little Red Riding Hood because they have a similar title, or they have similar characters. Okay? Or you could say, could be that it's got a wolf in. What other stories do we know with wolves in? So you'd write Little Fred Riding Hood is similar to the Three Little Pigs because it's got a wolf in. Okay? Now I was also thinking that this book reminded me a bit of Horrid Henry. Why do you think I might think it reminds me a bit of Horrid Henry? The boy is very rude. So I could say, Little Fred Riding Hood is similar to Horrid Henry stories because there is a rude boy as the character. Okay? I also thought it reminded me a little bit of Roald Dahl the Minpins that I read before, because the beginning of the story is similar because there's a boy and his mum, and the mum is talking to him about things and giving him advice and telling him what to do. So it reminded me a little bit of that. Okay, now I've put some pictures on the sheet as well of some books that I thought, and I've given you an example that I've written out. Make sure you start with a capital letter, you have a full stop, and you use the word because. Do as many as you can. There's no wrong or right answer as long as you can give a reason why. Okay, bye everybody, enjoy doing that. See you later.